Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderfall Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. So today we have another little news article from Games Workshop talking about catching up on the major plot points of the Broken Realms saga. So I thought we'd go over that. For those of you who can't, have the time to read, can pop this in your ears and listen while you go for a jog. Anyway, let's get cracking in onto it. So, Broken Realms books have been nothing short of epic. Each one features major developments of various factions alongside big changes to the balance of power across the mortal realms, and the saga is not over yet. The events of the first three installments of Broken Realms have altered so many things it's hard to say what you might expect next. If you haven't been keeping up with the books, you're missing out on some absolutely realm-shaping updates, while you owe it to yourself to pick up the books and check out the free short stories that we've been supplying through Games Workshop's Broken Realms website. Cool. So, a few things here that I want to give a shout out to that I reckon people should go and have a read or a listen to. First of all, I'd like to give a shout out for anyone who doesn't know. Go and check out 2+ Stuff Doug. He does amazing lore videos that run you through the entire narrative of the Broken Realms in a few series. It's great. But what he does do is he does leave little tidbits out, so even if you go and read them after, you get all these nice little nuggets of information on top of what he provides. He does a really great job. So if you are looking to get some of the narrative, maybe you've not been able to pick up the books, there have been supply issues, especially with Bellicor lately, you could definitely go and check out Doug on 2+ Tough for some lore. And also, the short stories they provide have been nothing short of amazing. They're really great, really fun, and there's a bunch of different things happening in all of them. I mean, they're not always all connected, but there's just a load of stuff happening in the stories that I think you'll find really interesting. If you've not been able to pick up the main books again, this could be something to help supplement and give you something narrative-wise to sort of get an understanding of things that are happening. So, spoiler alert, we're going to go talk about some of the stuff here. So let's sort of use this as a way to chat about the 3 Broken Realms books that we've got so far and what has happened, and I'm going to give some of my thoughts on them as well as we've gone through. So we started off with Broken Realms Marathi. This was a really cool release. I mean, for me, the entire story of this is based around Marathi trying to ascend to godhood and taking the city of Ambergard from the cities of Sigmar and Sigmar himself and turning it into Harkuron, her dark elf city. Of course, we know in the story that Marathi does succeed. She becomes a god, though not without paying a terrible price. At some point, she's rent in two, and now she is these two beings at one time, but is now a godlike being in her own right. It's not clear exactly what Marathi gained from her godhood, though, she had to have gained something from it, because she went through all that effort. It meant enough to her that she had to do this thing, and she had to pretty much release Slaanesh, which was, I guess, the small little tidbit that was not sort of talked about, is that, well, Marathi released a little shard of Slaanesh, which we found out is going to get some cool models in Kragnos. Obviously, we've seen the 2 new shards of Slaanesh models coming out. And so that's generally the story of Marathi. It does set up a ton of stuff for later in the future, and I feel that's what Broken Realms has been doing more often than not. I don't actually feel that Broken Realms is going to end the story in its cycle. I feel we've got all these sort of parts of it going out. I mean, we haven't actually heard anything more from, say, Van Brecht and his hunt for the vampires and stuff like that. And obviously what's happening with Harkuron, and we've got some tidbits in the Daughters of Cain battle tome, of course, but we've still got like questions unanswered from a bunch of that. And so Broken Realms Techless is next after that, and, well, what's cool about this one is it focused on the Lumineth Realm Lords. It added, obviously, the second Lumineth Realm Lords book, and we can talk about that for days on why maybe it shouldn't have been done the way it was, but anyway, this was a great story. I know if you're a Death player, you probably didn't enjoy the story, but someone has to lose, and my favourite thing about these Broken Realms books is the character on the front has won, and won convincingly. It's not been something where we've had sort of stories come out and, you know, people haven't won and stuff like that. Like, I think back to the End Times, and you had, like, the End Times Glotkin, and the Glotkin ends up actually losing in the end, or we had End Times Thanquol in the end, like, what happens to the Skaven, it's not particularly great. I really like that these books are making the characters that they're talking about the focal point, and it's their story of victory. And that's what I really enjoy about it, and what gives me a lot of hope for Kragnos to come out soon. Anyway, Teclis' story is literally him going to go kick big old Nagash right between the crown jewels. And he does this. We also get some cool story parts in this where Eltharion, the Light of Eltharion, gets revenge on Arkan the Black. Nagash obviously is bound to Avlanor and sort of put into some sort of between realms thing, very similar to the sort of binding of Slaanesh. And Death is just completely shaken up by the effects of this book. Not only that, but it's shown that like the soul wars are ending with this book, which is cool. Like, I like that we've got some clear clarity and like the phase changing, and we've also got like tidbits in this from like Alariel like playing her game in the background. Like, she's obviously doing a lot more and knows a lot more than she's really coming out with, which is really cool. Just her being in the background, like knowing things and going, Teclis, you shouldn't be doing this. We've got bigger problems, and all of this stuff. And she does have like a part to play in Marathi as well, though very minor in that. But in this, she's definitely in the background. Broken Realm Bellicor is next, and this is an interesting one. Third installment just shows the massive aftermath of shift in power after the Soul Wars. Right off the bat, Stormcast Eternals and Seraphon invade the 8 points to thwart a gaunt summoner who's attempting to open a realm gate to Azir. The resulting destruction breaks several important realm gates. The carefully laid out geomantic energy that underlies reality itself is disrupted, and the connection between Stormcast Eternals and Azir is partially severed. Bellicor takes advantage of the havoc infused to snatch a long-planned victory and regain his lost glory. After coercing Lady Alinda to join his cause, the Dark Master invades Tremont and lays siege to a mighty city of Vindicarum. The forces of order drive him off at a great cost, aided in part by a mysterious white-bearded Dwarden. So, Grombrindle, anyone? Like, came back, obviously, like, the stuff that Croak does, and there's a ton of stuff in here that, like, certain things do. Like whole Stormhost destroyed, like the connection to Azir with the Stormcast not necessarily being like perfect anymore. It's really bringing more into play for the Mortal Realms, and it really is interesting like how they've sort of changed it with Bellicor and what they're going to do in the future and what this means for like Stormcast, because like obviously the immortality of Stormcast is a major part of their character. What does this do? What is this affecting? How is it affecting? Are we going to have like certain priests that like collect souls? Because we know like through some stories that the Lord Relictors can collect the souls and then take them back with them, so maybe that's their job, and maybe that becomes a much more important role. Maybe we've got something like that, the like soul collectors or something like that. But it's an interesting thing. And so we get to talking about Broken Realms Kragnos, and this is where I guess we've got a little bit of information to share of like some news proper. And that is that we know that Kragnos is going to be the last Broken Realms book. They finally state that here. We've got the new war song chanter for the Sylvaneth here. Croak with his amazing new model, the Witch Hunters, which I cannot wait to get. And the two Shards of Slaanesh. All of these are going to appear in the Kragnos book, which is going to be the last one. So all of these characters have a part to play in the final chapter of the Broken Realms saga, and given the intensity of the first three books, this one is going to be huge. It just seems like there's going to be some serious stuff happening. We've got the Shards of Slaanesh, we have Witch Hunters coming in, we have a new a Sylvaneth creature, we have Lord Croak himself. So yeah, Monday tomorrow is going to be a big day, and I think we're going to see Kragnos. We're going to see what's going to happen in Broken Realms. It's going to be an amazing time to be an Age of Sigmar player tomorrow. We'll be doing a live stream, watching and reacting to the Warhammer community stream, so come and join us tomorrow. We'll be hobby hangout beforehand and afterwards for a little while, so come and chat and hang out with us and let us know what you think. But leave us some comments, let us know what you think. What are you hoping for tomorrow? It'll be really exciting. I cannot wait. Well, we hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And also, while you're at it, why don't you come join our Discord server? You can chat to me and other members of our fine little community here at Cinderfall Gaming. You can do so by following the link to our Discord server, which is in the description of the video. Lastly, I'd like to give a shout out to everyone who helps support the channel financially via Patreon and YouTube members. Thank you to our Patreon supporters Christian Weir, James Soren, Chaos Spawn, AJC, Kenny Lowell, Alder and Shot First, James Crowder, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, Tim Newman and The Rising Ape. And thank you to our YouTube members Green Roots Gaming and Fire Titan. Thank you all for supporting the channel, and if you'd like to help support the channel like these fine people do, you can do so by clicking one of the links down to either our Patreon or our YouTube members in the description of the video as well. Thank you all for watching, everyone, though. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.